Hi folks, and welcome to another video. This time we're doing a bit of work on the 997 Carrera 2 cab. We installed a AliExpress head unit, same as the one I put in my Boxster as well. Like I say, from AliExpress, the Android system. Same again, this car just had the standard Porsche module in it. With the sat nav's getting a bit dated, so I've upgraded both cars now to the AliExpress unit. I've had zero problems with them. You know, I've been running them now for probably about 4 or 5 months since installed the first one in the Boxer, and I really can't fault the units. They're brilliant. Paired by a good speaker combo, they just work. They just work great. I went for the higher gigabyte and RAM modules that they sell, so you know, 350 odd quid units, but yeah, they're really fast responsive. I've had zero issues with mine. Really good bit of kit, well worth the money. So today on the 997, I'm going to replace my switches because they're worn. So I've ordered some new switches from AliExpress. They came in little boxes, but yeah, so new switches. So I've got a couple of them to fit, so we'll do them once the stereo and that's out as well. I've also got a reverse camera kit in this bag, which is the one that goes in to a number plate light, so it will replace a number plate light. So it looks a bit more of a sort of factory finish. Yeah, so that'll be going in. And have also got, just get this out of the bag, so I have to do this one-handed unfortunately. I've also got a microphone to install. Same one I fitted onto the Boxster. This clearly has a built-in microphone here, so you can, you know, speak quite clearly. But being a cabriolet with the roof down, the only problem I seem to be having is when somebody phones me, there's a lot of wind noise and stuff. So I just want to put a little slightly better microphone, mount it up here in the top of the dash, same as I did with the Boxster, and people are saying it's really clear. So yeah, that'll be my 3 jobs for today. So being a cabriolet, I'll be a pain in the arse no doubt to route the flipping wires to the back of the car, but we'll give it a go and see how we got on. So yeah, wish me luck. Thanks folks. Yep, so first bit I'm going to remove is this tail light on the driver's side in the UK. So obviously right hand drive car in the UK. So we've got 2 screws here and here. They are Torx bits, I believe they're T20s. And so I'll just buzz them out. I don't think you actually have to take them out all the way. I've backed them off a wee bit there, and there's already a fair bit of movement in the tail light. So once it's out, you can pretty much just pull it, and the tail light will pop out from either side. As you can see, I've already kind of loosened it at this end, but yeah, just get your fingers in at the back here, give it a little nudge, and it pulls free of the grommet. So and your headlight comes out. So yeah, you can see there, I've not removed them fully. I've only backed them off. Next thing to do is to remove the little plug here. I'll just put the phone down and do that. Yeah, there you go, that's clear now. So the way that works is this little tab here. A lot of people try pushing it down the way. You actually have to pull it back with your nail or a screwdriver. And you can see there that it moves that little clip up, which releases it. So yeah, a lot of people, they press that. They've got an automatic want to press it down. Pressing it down doesn't do anything, you can break it. So it needs to be pulled back towards the wire. So yeah, I just usually use a nail or a little screwdriver pick. So what I'm going to do next is pop this grommet out up in here. I don't know if you can see that. The grommet needs to come out of there. So we're going to pierce that. I'm going to run the wire from there. Yes, that's that come out quite easily, as you can see. So pop that grommet out and I'll put a hole through there, and I'll feed the wire for the camera up through that. And then my plan is to run it down the back of the light, down through this area here, which will get me into the back bumper. we can feed it down and replace one of the number plate lights up in here. So yeah, so that'll be the route for the wire here. The next problem is getting it from here into this side of the car. I'll put the boot lid down here, try and get the hood up and see where I can route it. There'll be another grommet further up that I'll have to tackle, I would imagine. So what I've done now is I've put the roof partially up, as you can see, and you can actually pull this bit of carpet back to get access to the main grommet in there. As you can see, you can actually even see the soft spot that I'm going to use. So there's an empty hole there. Obviously it's sealed up at the moment, so I'll have to drill or punch through it using a pick or a soldering iron or something, pierce a hole in it, and then I can hopefully run the wiring under the carpet. And I don't know if you can see in here quite clearly, but you can see wires coming through down here, and vacuum lines or something by the looks of it. And we'll run the wires for the camera down there and secure it to that other wires, and then that way it should come out in here, and we'll run it maybe along the foot of the back seats, up the centre console and to the head unit, and that will give us a nice clear path for the wire to run, hopefully not get snagged on the roof at all. So yeah, that's my plan. So wish me luck. I'm going to go and start poking holes and things and try to get that wire fed through. One more thing to mention, sorry, that grommet in there looks like it pretty much lines up with this one that I've pulled out here, so it should be a straight pass through hopefully. I'll maybe have to put a bit of welding rod or a long cable tie or something through there just to get them to line up and pull the cable through, but it's definitely looks like it's going to be the route to follow. Okay, so we're through. Basically what I did, if you can see down there, the wire is actually running through there now. I used a small half snapped broken pointer, poke through the rubber soft spot, which is the empty bit there, and then I followed it up with a larger flatbed screwdriver, just poked that in there, and then I just poked the cable through. Very, very simple. It didn't take long at all to do. The end of the cable has an RCU on it, just exactly the same as this one here. Excuse the mess in this car, I am going to clean it. Yeah, poked that through. It actually poked through fine, and then I just put the flat blade screwdriver up against here to give it that extra nudge, and then it literally just pokes out. It comes out the other side here, and you can just shove it through a couple of times, and then I can actually get managed to get 2 fingers in there and grip the tip of it here. Grip the tip of it here like so, and I managed to pull it through no problem. So that was much simpler than I thought it was going to be. You can actually see just the light from the hole I put in it. You can just see the light there and no more. So that's it routed. So that was very easy, and as you can see, there's enough rope to pull through, and that will get tucked down this hole and connected up to the camera, and then it's just a case of doing the insides. But very, very simple. Also for the wire, I pulled this out here and pulled that out there, and I've routed the wire down here. When I was pulling it up through, I've just fed it under this trim and poked it up, so you can get enough perch on this trim just to pull it out, feed the wire up from inside. So I fed it up from inside first, and I took my watch off, and you can actually get your hand down in this gap here to reach down and meet where you're pulling it out. So forcing up with one hand this side, and then reaching down from this side through this little gap here, and I managed to get hold of it no bother. You can actually make that gap bigger by lifting up propping up the hood here if you want. You can undo the wire straps and things, but I didn't need to, and I've got fairly big hands, so still managed to get in there. So that's the wire roughly routed for the time being. I'm obviously going to connect it all up and test it, and then I'll tidy it all up. But yeah, so fairly straightforward for routing the wires. At the back here, And what we have is a red wire and the RC cable. The red wire is power, so that will get connected up to give the 12 volts to the actual rear camera. And then there's wiring similar at the other end, but yeah, that will give that's the power for the camera. And this is the audio visual, not the audio, sorry, but the video feed from it as well. So yeah, I'll carry on with the next bits and I'll join you back again shortly. So I've taken out the next part, which is the actual number plate lights. I've had to actually pop both of them out because this one here looks like it's actually nearly been on fire. Don't quite know what's going on there, but glad I found this actually. So all I did was take the 2 screws out, pull the bulb out. So yeah, there's a couple of screws on each one. It just undoes. They're just starhead screwdrivers. Pull the bulb out, and then you've got a little clip here that you have to try and get a pick in behind and lever, and that allows the bulb holder basically just to fall out from the hole there. Yeah, fairly easy to do, but yeah, when I check mine, it looks like the bulb's been melting. That I'll pop the other side out to check as well. It's okay, but I'm gonna probably replace the bulb holders. Yeah, I'm just not very happy with that. It's the same clip again that you have to push the little clip back, and that gives us access to put the camera in. So camera literally just plugs into the clip, and you'll see here it'll go in, and then you push this down towards the light and you hear a click. Hear the wee click. Oh, it's not staying in. I might have to just put a cable tie around that. I suppose that's one of the downsides to AliExpress stuff. It's just not a perfect fit, but I'll play about with that. And it's clipping in now, so it's solid. But yeah, so that'll go in, and the wires will tuck up once I connect them up to the other ends. So yeah, I'll carry on with the next bit and you'll join me back in a second for that. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need to do is poke the RCA cable down through the hole and out through the number plate hole. So all I've done is used it's actually an old aerial from a car, whip aerial. I had in my toolbox, but you can use anything like a really long cable tie, even probably a really thin stick or twig or something, or a long screwdriver. That'll allow you to poke through. You can see, it's hard to see, but I can see some light down there, so I can actually guide this through. And all I've done is tape this to the end with some masking tape, insulating tape, sorry. So I'll poke that down through here just now and get it out, and then you'll join me with it coming out the other side, okay? Okay, we're underneath the car now, so my pokey rod is up here, and I'm going to try and, you can actually see it there, look, so that's how simple it is. Look, there's my cable coming through. So it's as simple as that. Just need something long enough that can reach through that hole and down. So yeah, very easy to get that out. And then, like I say, that'll be the path for the wire to run up the back of the tail light here. So yeah, very straightforward. So we'll just go and connect it up now, and then we'll get some power and stuff from the inside. I'll pull the stereo out. Okay, next part is to start pulling the stereo to get access to the connection at the back here. Same again as before. I'm going to start removing this little infill panels from both sides. I think, if I remember right, there's a T30 Torx. Yes, does it say T30? Yeah, it does. It's just a bit rusty. Yeah, T30 Torx should do it. So just usually, you can see mine's has got a little hole where it's been done before. Then I'm going to just unscrew these and then move the two that are behind here. Unlike my Boxster that didn't have any, I just had one side and one on the other. So I must have lost the screws previously, but yeah, you just undo these little infill panels. They come out, there you go, fell out as soon as I got the thing. But yeah, you can see there's a little Torx in there just hidden by the carpet. Yeah, little Torx hidden by the carpet. And then you should have two more, which are the smaller size T20s, I think. And once you pull them out, you can remove the leather side panels from each side. It's pretty much the same on the other side, except I have an extra little bit of trim to take off on the other side, because on the 997 that I've got, there's a different attachment on that side, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'll quickly buzz these two off, and then we'll swap over to the other side and I'll let you see. Yeah, so I'm in the passenger footwell now, and you'll see here I've got this big extra bit where my 12-volt socket is. Again, it's actually fairly simple to come off. You just pop this little air vent clip out, and then it gives you access to the first of the screws there. That comes out, and then it gives you access to the panel as normal. So I'll just quickly nip them out. I think that one is a T20 as well, same as the other sides, or maybe I'm wrong, it's maybe a different size. Right, I'll find out what size that is quickly, and then I'll unscrew it. Yeah, so what it was, a T20, it's come out fairly straightforward. And it just drops down, the panel just drops down. You can see there you've got access to them two screws clearly. Now you can unplug this if you want and move it out of the way, but I just let it dangle. It's not going to get in my way at all. And again, these two here are just the same as the other side, two T20s, and buzz them out, and that's the panel's free, ready to just pull from the front. So I'll do that now. I'll just undo these two, and then I'll move to a sitting up position and pull out the two infill panels. Just a point to note on these ones, folks, there's three different screws here now. So these two self-tapper type are for the side infill panel, and the threaded one, the actual bolt type one, is for the little air vent panel, as you can see, because it's like a riv nut, captivated riv nut in there with thread. So don't get them mixed up, obviously, because this one will not go into these, and these will probably just destroy the thread in that if you try to put them in. So just bear that in mind for when you're reassembling it. There is actually three different screws here. Okay, right, I'm going to move and do the pulling out of the panels now for you. Okay, so I'm going to pull these two panels off either side here. This might be quite difficult to do one-handed, but usually what I do is grab them from behind and give them a short. Oh, that one popped off easily, probably because I had it off before. But yeah, give them a short, sharp pull. Just put my hand at the back there, pull them. Same as I said in the Boxster video. Really need to be careful with this top clip. You don't want to be, I don't like leaving them. I've seen people using pry tools and things. They're very easy to break these, and I can't imagine, but I guarantee Porsche want a bloody fortune for these little infill panels. But you don't want to break these clips. They are very, very flimsy little plastic clips, so you want to try and keep them intact. So yeah, again, I'll try and do this side. I don't know if I'll manage it one-handed. Oh yeah, there we go. So very straightforward, as you can see. That's both them off, no bother at all. And that gives you access to pull the stereo out now. So the stereo itself, the AliExpress one now, it doesn't have the Allen keys to turn or anything like the original Porsche one. You just have the little clips that you'll need to push in, so you need to find the slots. There's a slot there. You need to try and get your finger in to try and loosen the clip and get it out. So looks like it's already moving there, so I'll do that the same on the bottom here. Yeah, there we go. So that's it coming out, no bother at all. So that's it free. So I'll now just pull the stereo out and get access to the back of it. I'm going to go and get my microfiber cloth so I don't scratch up my gear knob and all my trims again. Very advisable about this brushed aluminium stuff. It just scuffs up no end when the metal of the cage of the actual stereo sits on it, so it's well worth putting a cloth over the top of it, just protect it all properly. So I'll go and do that now, and then you'll join me again with finishing kind of off the wiring for the reverse camera onto the back of the stereo. We'll investigate that a bit. Okay, thanks folks. So we're back at the back of the car. So all I've done here is I've pulled this wires up, which obviously feeds the camera in from the back here, and then that's the camera, and the light just clicked into place. So yeah, you just pull the wire that you've connected up, that you pushed through earlier. All this comes up and it all ends up in the back here. So the next part is obviously to connect this wire to the power for the reverse light. I don't think I'll do it on the main harness. I hate splicing into main harnesses. What I'll do is I'll actually go into the harness on the actual tail light itself, and the little mini harness that this connects into. So I'll find the reverse bulb and I'll connect to that, splice into that, because the harness on the headlight is sacrificial, whereas the harness on the car is not really sacrificial. You really don't want to damage any of this stuff here. Something I forgot to show is actually the wire. Before you connect any of this up here, make sure you pull it through this grommet. All I've done is poke a screwdriver through, poke the wire down the back here as far as I can, put the screwdriver through, and I'm going to prise this open and put my long nose pliers up there and grab it and just pull it through. So you'll see that in a minute. Completed. So on the back of the tail light, this end holder is the tail light reverse. So in here you've got two pins, obviously. The centre pin there that goes to the tip of the bulb, that is your positive, and the one on the side at the top, at the very top in the picture you're looking at just now, that is the earth. So the earth is the wire going to that. So it's very simple to test. You just put a multimeter in there and put the red wire to the centre point, and then the black wire to that, and it should confirm that's 12 volts there. So when the reverse is selected, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to splice into these wires to get the power for the back of the reverse camera. Okay, so power for the camera. So there's a little small, oh well, it's quite a long black lead that's the actual 12 volt and earth supply for the camera. All I've done is trimmed them back. The red wires is 12 volts. So all I've done is spliced it in, soldered it and heat shrinked it onto the reverse power, so that when the reverse bulb activates, the 12 volt is shared with the camera power on, and the one for the VGA cable as well. And I've taken the earth wire, again cut it a bit shorter, and just taken the earth and soldered and heat shrinked it onto the bulb holder as well. So that gives you your power on for the camera, and obviously your signal on as well for the video. And that should, in theory now, when we go into the driver's seat, we should actually have an image of the back of the car with all my tools and crap lying on the floor here. So what I'll do now is I'll jump into the car. I'll just temporarily plug all this back in. I'll jump into the car and we'll see if we've got an image on the video. Yeah, so there we go. We've got an image for the back of the rear view of the car. So obviously in reverse there, and if I go into it puts it back to CarPlay in reverse, camera comes on automatically. So at the back here, I've not actually done anything with this red wire at all, so it's just literally plugged in. It's obviously seeing it from the power at the back from the reversing light, so I'll just have this taped up and secure, because there will be 12 volts on that, because it's coming from the back of the reverse lamp, tail lamp. So there would be other ways to wire this in. You could wire it into the brown wire that goes to the little box. Yeah, So this little box here, you could wire it to the brown wire that goes to that, and probably wouldn't need to wire it at the back into the tail light, but I've chose to obviously wire it there. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. There's also the cable, you could run the cable the full length of the car as well, the power cable, but there's no point in doing that because, as you can see, you can get a good image there just by doing it the way I've showed in this video. And all you're going in is the harness and the bulb holders on the back of the car, which are sacrificial. So yeah, there we go. So that's the camera installed anyway, that's the first part of it done. So I'll go on to the next thing, which will be the microphone, wiring the microphone in. Okay, microphone install. So clean the top of the dash, peel off the sticky pad, obviously drop your steering wheel down to its lowest position, basically just tuck the wire back there. What I do normally is I take this T20 Torx out here, and I pull down on the dash slightly so it comes free from here, and you can tuck the wire up in there out of sight, and then the wire comes through the back here, and there's an opening here. You can fish the wire with your fingers, and then it obviously just goes to the little jack socket, and then on the back of the stereo there is a microphone jack somewhere as well. Yeah, so mic, it's marked up mic, and that just literally plugs in there, and that is the microphone installed, and then it's just a case of tidying the wires up with the loom, which is a mess at the moment. And yeah, microphone installed. It couldn't be any simpler than that. It is very, very easy. It's very, very easy to do. And then when you put your wheel back into its normal position, you don't even see the cable. You just give this a little nudge up and put your T20 back in there, and that is it fitted. And the wire is nicely hidden, you can't see the wire, and you can just see it poking down there. I'll need to tuck it up a bit further, but pull that down again. I'll just poke it up there with a wee flat blade or a pick, so it's behind the actual panel. Okay, so that's how you wire in the microphone. Very, very simple. Yeah, sorry, just one more thing to do at the back here that's advisable. I just put a big heat shrink around them connectors just to waterproof them. Reason being, obviously, you know, you have certain little metal bits exposed, and it is at the back bumper here, so it is exposed to the elements to an extent. So always advisable, put a bit of heat shrink around them as well, just to seal them up. It also keeps them together for any vibrations and stuff going through the car. Yeah, so just a bit of advice there. Stick some heat shrink around it, or even just some black insulating tape or that, just to give it a bit more weatherproof capabilities, because if it's going to fail anywhere, it's going to fail at one of your connections. There you go. Okay, cheers, bye. We're now ready to reassemble, so what you want to do is remember to tuck your grommet back in up there, so it's nice and secure. I've simply cable tied the excess wires, and I just showed you there that I'd heat shrink them, so these will all just get tucked up in the back here, and the tail light will go back into place. So I'll do that now quickly, and then we'll jump on to the next step. So headlights back in, so you need to push it in at this end first so it gets behind the little grommet. This side, obviously your washers have to be on this side of the panel, and then tighten up your two T20s, so that's solid now. So that is me finished in this corner. The light, so the light's back in its original position. I can shut that down, go into the inside of the car. So cable routing, I have tucked the wire all the way back in there, so it's running down the inside. The carpet in here, carpet's all been tucked back in under the weather strip. The wire comes down there, you can just see the wire there. See the wire there? So that's running inside, comes down the inside of this panel. What I have done in here is I fed the wire all the way around this gap, right the way around the bottom, down here along the bottom of the carpet, tucked it all up in this groove, tucked it along here, and then it's going under the console there, the centre console, you can just poke it up with your finger. It's got plenty of room. Fed it all the way along, so it's under the back of here, so the wire is in here, running along here. Gets to this area, I've just pulled this back, tucked the wire up in there, sent it up the inside here, and then up just here there's a hole. If I jump in here, there's a hole there, and you can see the wire coming out the hole, and that is now routed to the back of the stereo. So the final thing I will do here, I'll plug it back in again, and I am going to do the same as I did on the back. Put a bit of heat shrink over there, or a bit of tape, just to secure that end together. This little red loop I have just secured to itself so it doesn't touch anything, because there is 12 volts to that wire now for when the camera comes on, it goes in reverse. And I'm just going to make sure there's a wee bit of protection on that earth so it doesn't get any interference. So, and then that is the rear view camera wired into this car and working. So thanks very much. I'll do that little bits. I'm going to poke all this wire. You see I've done a bit of cable management here. I've tried to tidy things up. I'm going to tuck all this back in, and I'm going to remount this head unit back into the car. Okay. So next thing I'm going to do today is remove the heater control and replace these really worn switches with the new ones. Again, a couple of quid on AliExpress. I've seen some people like drill this and put a pick in and just rip them out. I'm not really comfortable doing that, so I'm going to do it the official way as such, and I'm going to strip the panel down inside the house and remove the components. So it's really easy to get this all out as well. I don't know if it's different for a manual car or not, but it literally just all pulls out. So this little switch panel, I usually put the finger behind here either side, and just pull it sharply and it usually comes out. You can undo that clip if you want, you don't really need it. Also this is a similar idea to removing the stereo. There's a little finger access hole either side here. You put your finger in this side, same again on the other side, and you depress the little clips, which allows this to come forward and pop out. And you can see there the little silver clip. So you just want to depress that with your finger through that hole. Same on the other side, and it comes out, and then you just unclip it from the back. It's really mega easy to get it out. I need to put my key in and put it in the drive to get this fully out. But yeah, you can see there, it's really simple. Clip there, same again on the other side, and that comes out. And now I'll just undo these clip here. You just depress the centre of this and this red one, and they'll come out, and you'll join me back when I'm inside stripping this unit down to repair it. Well, there we go. Didn't video the switches. I mean, there's a million videos on YouTube and that showing how to remove these switches. Obviously just showed that I have done the bit where I pop it out, but yeah, I take the back of it all apart, take the circuit board out, and I push them out properly. Like I say, there is other ways you can do it. I've seen people drilling them and putting the picks in. I just don't like that. You've got a high chance of breaking something. If you break one of the little tabs at the back, it's yeah, it's not great. So it's better doing it the proper way, where you strip it down, which there's loads of videos of that you can find. But it makes a huge difference having a nice clean switches, nice clean Android install. If I can find my key, I will show you the rear view camera now working. So yeah, it just comes on Android Auto. I'll load up. I don't know if it'll work because I'm on this camera on this phone. It's connecting. Yeah, it's still connected anyway. So yeah, your Android Auto or your CarPlay will come up. Into reverse, straight away the camera comes on, as you can see there. It's not the greatest quality, it's quite whitewashed if I'm honest, but yeah, You can clearly see behind you though, that's the main thing. So I'm not sure about these lines. There's actually a little wire you can snip to get rid of them lines. I mean, they're not too bad for the distance, for the red and the yellow telling you how close you are or something, so I might leave them. I'll see how I feel about that. But it's just a case of popping the tail light out and snipping that little wire loop at the back. That will remove that yellow box section out of the camera. But I mean, I really can't fault that at all. It's just yeah, for a few quid extra. Again, AliExpress has supplied everything here, so the head unit was from AliExpress, but 350 quid or something it cost. These switches, again, about 11 quid's worth to get them. The microphone was about 6 quid, which is mounted there now nice and neatly. Yeah, everything fairly cheap. Certainly a hell of a lot cheaper than upgrading and putting the actual official Porsche unit in it. Yeah, for me, I just can't justify putting the Porsche upgrade system, the new version of the PCCM thing into it. I just can't justify that when there's something like this on the market that it does everything and more than that does. And yeah, it just looks more or less factory when it's in it. I can't really fault the unit at all. It works great, so I'm happy. Now going to clean this car because it is absolutely crawling in here. We've been using this as a daily driver, so I'm going to give this car a good clean. So give it a bit of a wash now this afternoon, and then I'll maybe go out a blast in it. But yeah, that's it, all done and dusted, working fine. I'm happy. I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you learned something, and feel free to leave some comments, like and subscribe as well. For more Porsche content that'll be coming up. I'll be doing some other mods. I've done the exhaust system actually on the Boxster. I've put a stainless steel system on that, so I'll maybe put a wee video up of it soon. So like I say, yeah, like and subscribe if you want to see more. Any questions you've got on this install or any of my other ones that I've done, leave a comment. I usually get back within a day or so, and I'll try and guide you through any of the steps that I've maybe missed out or you want a bit more clarity on. Right, thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day. Cheers, bye.